the dream of every driver and fan, offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come. We're still talking about the first one, and guarantee we'll be talking about this one. Here's to the great American race that can only be the Daytona 500.
Just putting myself in line up here. Look how my team says I'm off long, even though I'm still online. But we're here. Oh, glad to see everybody tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. At Daytona here, part of the way here is season 7 officially with these guys. Alex Carroll doing an absolute bang-up job trying to keep these guys in check for the last 7 renditions of what is considered to be a season, all starting all the way back in 2019 with the Dr. Pepper League to the Shake and Bake to the Subway. You name it, this man has brought it all together one way or another. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Drop a like in the comments and say hi to everybody. Let's try to make some friends up in here while we are getting ready. But currently, right now, we are just waiting for the last couple of instructions getting over into duel number 1. And with duel number 1 being on the way here shortly, there is some things that we do need to go over, but rather than me just talk at you, here, let's do it this way instead. So, let me see. Unfortunately, there's no real way to just streamline all this, but we'll do this and this.
So I did actually have that all timed up here. I'm not quite sure what happened with all that. But as you can see, we are going to be going 50 laps here. No breaks in the action. It'll be a straight 50 lap run for the guys. Wear and tear is going to be on times two like it is traditionally, and it'll be a low draft package driving for these guys here tonight. So, with that in mind, we are going to have a couple of live streams on board with us here. So, let me make sure that we have that all set up here. So, we will be hopping in with Storm here in just a little bit. And then also, if you just want to see what it looks like regularly, it'll be on mine as well. So, right now, all you're going to see is just a loading screen, as that's all we are waiting for at this moment in time. And Alex, well, he just hasn't officially gone live yet. So, just a little bit of a waiting game while they get all that 100% taken care of. Appreciate everybody tuning in here and watching along with us here again. Season 7 debut here, the Duels at Daytona for the Under the Lights Racing League. We should be getting that going here in just a little bit. Again, this is all being presented by Dubby Energy. They're on board with the UTLR for the entire season. You'll just go online, w.gg, and use the code THEFORUM. Go get 10% off, and you will be able to get some really good energy drinks, including my personal favorite, the Cali O Cream. That's your mango, as well as your orange creamsicle, all put into one drink. Again, w.gg, use code THEFORUM at checkout, get yourself 10% off there. But in the meantime, at the bottom of your screen, you will be seeing the starting lineup, and that is everybody's official name. I was originally going to do gamer tags, however, I did not have the time to go back and edit these gamer tags and get them 100% up and running. So, with that, this is really where we are at right now as far as this goes. So, I apologize that we're just kind of waiting and staring at a screen trying to get that to work here. So give me one moment. I do apologize for all the confusion with what is taking place right now. So it does say that we are live. So I'm trying to see why it is not showing. So we'll go ahead and turn that off for right now while we get that all up and going. But few people that we've seen hop into the chat. Luke, always appreciate you. How's it going, good sir? Dr. Clater, you're going to be running here in just a few moments' time. So, Deport, I see you down there. Hi, Dad. Oh my God, I am not your dad, but hi, Deport. Good to see you there. Get Wrecked, can't say that I've seen you before, so always welcome and saying hi to you as well. Jackson, I see you in here. So we'll be seeing you here in just a little bit of time as well. I know that you're going to be driving in the second duel there in the number 42 machine. So that'll be fun to see. Rock NASCAR. Best of luck to all the drivers tonight. Absolutely best of luck to all the drivers here tonight. So a little thing, if you saw the video there at the start, you saw that there were 17 drivers there in the first duel. However, that has been cut down to 15. Brad Ranger, he was originally supposed to be starting second. He is out due to a family emergency. However, he is already chartered in, so he is not going to be missing this race in any way, shape, or form. And if I remember correctly, I do know that there's one more that is not going to make it. So again, only 15, and you'll see them there at the bottom. There again, we did go with the names. Alex gave me the names, so here we go. What that? Is it bad that I'm texting while driving? Well, let's see here. I don't know, considering I'm still waiting on an invite to even get in this way we can actually start this broadcast. That'd be kind of cool, but hey, it is what it is. Do what you gotta do, Deport. I see you. You're trying to pull Brad Keselowski out here. Hack48 saying, let's go. Absolutely, we'll be seeing you go in duel number 2 here shortly. Luke coming in. Good luck. Good luck, everybody else in Duel 1. Wish I could be in the booth with even, but this is lit. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different from what you guys have seen in the past. I know a few of you guys, you kind of know the deal. This empty space back here will eventually be taken up by a very great and late friend of mine, Greg Miller. We lost him back on January 2nd. Really good friend for a lot of us in the racing community. I've decided that, for race days, this is going to be his studio. So that's why I say that we always do it from the Greg Miller studio, and we will always keep it that way as long as I do this. Last Dark Outlaw, I see you as well, good sir. My only favorite driver right here streaming. I mean, hey, I absolutely do my best. It's going to be nice actually getting back on the sticks here. I know a lot of people missed me last year. You can find me at YSO Series 8135. I will be running in the Xfinity Series. So I'm only going to be broadcasting for the Cup Series. I'm not going to be streaming for the trucks or the Xfinity there. Easy win for Toby Welsh. Well, if Toby was in this run, in this first duel, then hey, maybe it would be an easy win as well. So I'm streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch right now.
Okay, well, I'm the only one on Twitch.
Okay. I mean, we're doing it through the UTLR live.
Is the UTLRs or yours?
It's through UTLR. I just have it on mine this way for POVs.
I'll switch it over to them.
All right, sounds good.
I'm upstairs, bye.
All right, bye, babe. So Josie coming down, making sure that I'm taken care of down here, and I do believe that is the invite. So Jackson decided to come up in the Cup Series and sub for SP. Great guy. Looking forward to a strong run to lock myself into the season opener. My teammates 43 and 44 will be my guys to help. Absolutely. And again, yes, rest in peace, Greg, aka Demon. Appreciate that. So give me just 1 second. Not quite sure why my stream is not loading here. Very rare that happens. Ah, here we go. It looks like we actually might have this going. So, yeah, we'll get connected to the network here. And let's go live, ladies and gentlemen. So, now that we have all that taken care of, again, this is through mine. So this is going to be your full screen. We do have Alex Farrell readily available as they are getting set up and ready for this race. But once again, you do see all of the names of the drivers racing here tonight. So Evan Hilton, the number 11 machine, going to start on the pole. And starting beside him outside row number 1 will be the number 24 of Alan Drake. Row number 2 will be Kinney on the inside with SR One Bad Pops on the outside there, driving the number 5 machine. Dakota Humphrey into 3, and Ferdinand Damasco, first time we've seen his name pop up, he'll be driving the 18 machine, followed by High Road and Danny Byerly. They will make up row 4. Row number 5 is going to be Flash. And Marquine Brewer, first time that we've seen him, he's looking to race his way in, as is Ben Knight. Alex Farrell, the winner of the clash, but we were not able to broadcast. Austin Knowles trying to make his way in. Nick Stills, he did make his way in, and Jacob Willingham also trying to get his way in. And apparently I have lost connection. Not going to try to figure that one out. So with that, we're going to go and invade Alex's stream while I try to get this whole thing situated here. So, again, appreciate everybody tuning in here. So, Alex, again, going to be riding along with you there, good sir. So, appreciate that right now. And then let's see if we can get one more stream up here before we get rocking and rolling. So give me 1 second here. I apologize for the confusion, but it's going to end up being 40 laps with these guys as they are set to take off. And away we go from Daytona. So once again, Evan is going to be leading out front in this race, although I do believe that we are going to go one more pace lap, so do apologize for that wait there. So Outlaw, look forward to racing with you next week. Absolutely. Same to you, my friend. Same to you. So I already have a prediction from Luke Smith. We'll see if we can maybe have him hop in a little bit later. He is last year's Cup champion. So we'll see if we can get some of his input coming in. And then, as Dr. Claire said, Demon ain't gone. He's only a lap ahead. Absolutely right on the money there, my friend. So, again, just trying to get logged in and everything here. So, again, do apologize for all the confusion. So, all right, well, looks like it's going to keep kicking me out. I'm not quite sure why it is kicking me out of all people. So, we will just have to go, I guess. Looks like Ducky is loading in as well. Did you get the invite to the race? Yes, I did, Alex. For some reason, it keeps kicking me out, though. So don't wait for me. Just go. That is the rule that we're playing by today. So only so much that I can do. Literally, every time I get the link, it tells me that I've been kicked out. So I can only do so much. So we're going to roll with it. But again, 15 drivers in the show. Looks like we're going to be starting here on lap number 3 for this race. Again, go ahead, drop your predictions. We'll throw them up here on the screen. Like I said, we're going to have a good time one way or another. I'm not going to let this be a bad time. And finally, we're going to get green flag racing here from Daytona. And it actually looks like we have my link up. So we are going to go ahead and switch over to that tab because we can. So there we go. So there's Alex right there. He's going to be in the 16 machine trying to make that highline work already. So again, seeing that I'm a little bit delayed, so we'll just have to go off of this. So Alex again driving the 16. Apparently he wanted to switch to the 88 knowing the fact that SVG is moving to the 88 machine next year when he comes up to Cup. A little bit of an interesting move there in my personal opinion with him making that move. But Alan Drake already out to the front of the lead, and with that, I do believe that that is going to be Mr. Mike Osborne into number 5. He was the only transfer that is already locked in. If you saw the video earlier, he's in on qualifying time alone. With that, we've got Evan, who is currently sitting in 3rd. So that's going to be your top 3 right there. Evan is going to be your pole setter for next week's 500. Again, we are going to be doing it live same time next week, 7:15 Mountain, 9:15 Eastern, here on all of your UTLR channels. You can find us through Facebook. You can find us through YouTube. You can find us through Twitch. Again, if you want to follow me on Twitch or anything of that nature, it's just ENC McClintock. I'm streaming there right now as this race is going on. So let's see if we can go ahead and cycle through the field here just a little bit, as we're going to see where Mountain Ranger's hiding. And again, Danny Byerly, one of the drivers currently trying to make it into the show. He is currently in a good transfer spot, obviously trying to make things work there. Now trying to go high side with the 3 machine. That's going to be Dakota Humphrey. As now it looks like everybody is still trying to cling to that bottom. And I know that a lot of these drivers, they are trying to figure out what exactly their strategy is going to be. Again, this is just going to be 48 laps, straight shot. There is no stages with this. So again, Byerly getting his way, trying to work his way up through the field, has now made his way up to 7th. From there, we'll hop in with our man, Dylan Blevins, also known as Flash, one of the really, really good drivers, a very consistent driver, will end up stealing a couple of wins here and there. A title contender, absolutely, for sure, as well, especially in Xfinity and trucks. once again, trying to make his name even grow larger. He also helps run NVRA on Sundays, so if you guys ever get a chance to go check that out, definitely do recommend doing that as well. From here, we are going to head over to Dakota Humphrey in that number 3 machine. Now trying to run that high side. Again, I do believe he's also one of the others who is either locked in or is trying to race his way in, trying to make that high line work, but so far nothing going. And it looks like right now, it looks like he's going to be left high and dry for the time being. Now finding his way back down with Alex. Again, Alex, he's already locked in. He won the Clash last week in our test session. So we'll move on. And now we're going to move over to Blackhammer, a.k.a. the 7 Machine of Marquine Brewer. Again, relatively new driver, rookie in the Cup Series, but you will have seen him multiple times in the Xfinity and Truck Series here with the UTLR crew. Really fast and a really consistent driver as well. So trying to get these 2022 cars figured out here in the UTLR area. And the 62, that is Deport, also known as Nick Stills. He's bringing up behind him. But back up at the front, it's going to be SR1 Bad there. He's still running second with Alan Drake as we've got a little bit of action going on behind him with Danny Byerly. And now we got drivers up in the wall. That's Diamante Hamilton right there going up into the wall. As now things are slowly trying to settle themselves out. So the 19 machine was needing to race his way in, is now shuffled his way back and out. Not quite sure how far back he is going to fall. But Kenny hanging on tight. He started third. He's now currently riding around in fourth. He's in that number 8 machine right now. He's been in the number 8 machine really as long as we have known him here in the league. Obviously, things happen. People come, they go, they come back. People work things out. It is what it is. So, and there we see VG Drip Slide, a.k.a. Dakota Humphrey, continuing trying to make that high line work. Again, we are running the low draft package, so that's why you see Alex Farrell all the way dropping back down and out. So he's going to try to hope for a caution, I believe, just to try to help make things work here for himself. But now we're going to go ahead and catch up with the leader, Alan Drake. Drake, really one of the more top-tier drivers, was the Championship 4 contender last season, and now he is currently leading here in duel number 1. Qualified second, literally just missed out on hitting that front row, was beat out by Dusty Stud, and we'll see him on the pole for the second race here, which will be starting up just shortly after this race concludes. So we'll go ahead and continue to cycle through everybody. Deport, I believe, is going to be next on our driver list, and there he is. Deport, again, very consistent, ended up doing fantastically in the Xfinity Series, coming away with the title there. He's done well in the trucks as well, continuing to find his way. He's with Dirty South Motorsports here for the 2024 season, or season 7, whichever you want to call it, because this is going to be the second season that's done here in 2024, hoping to make this go until 2025. And then by then, maybe we get one more league race, or one more league season, I should say, out of this game before we can finally retire NASCAR Heat 5 for good when iRacing comes to the consoles. From here, we're going to go ahead and catch up with our guy, Bad News Ducky. You might have seen him on the ticket for the Clash, but good to see him back after dealing with some personal stuff out of the track and outside the league. He's back, and it seems like he's ready for vengeance once again. Really, really strong driver here. Expect him to really be at the front of just about every single racetrack. If you can get him up front, he will find a way to get there easily. A lot of top fives probably on the horizon. Maybe he can bring the number 11 car a championship, unlike a certain Denny Hamlin. But from here, we're going to go ahead and slide back and double check and see where High Road is. And now, as we see him, he is coming halfway down the backstretch, getting ready to head into turn number 3 as the rest of the race is out there in the front stretch, maybe all the way out in turn number 1 by now. So not the greatest showing for High Road. He definitely needed to race his way in, so we'll have to see how that works out for him in the long run. Foxtrot Delta, also known as Ferdinand Damasco, he's just a little bit trailing behind, just still able to hang on. Again, only the top 3 for the transfers will make their way into the Daytona 500. We have 35 drivers sign up to try to make the race. Only 25 are going to make the show. So looks like Mr. Ferdinand, he's got a little bit of work to do as we are still counting down the laps here. And we'll head back up here. Now we've got Austin Knowles. He's going to be the next one on the list, driving the number 4 machine. As now it looks like he is officially tag teaming with the number 78 machine. I'm going to try to get a little draft going, try to get everything back up to speed 100%, and really try to make his own version of the Daytona 500, try to get his own way up through the crowd. As we get a couple of updates here, as Alex Farrell is still continuing to drop back. That front crew has absolutely torched the entire field at this point. So really, there's about a 10-car gap, and then the rest are behind them. So Alex gonna really be hoping to see if we can get to a caution, as we are getting up to lap 15 now of 50. And again, there's a 78 machine of knockdown right there in front of our man Austin. And again, they are slowly coming up on Alex, so maybe they can try to make something work, make that a 3-car tandem, and try not to lose nearly as much ground as they potentially have so far in the race. But that is a look through the entire field, as we are going to go ahead and come back up here to the front, and we're going to ride along with Alan Drake, a.k.a. Drake 126100. Not even 100% sure what any of that means, but hey, it's something. But yeah, we still got 34 laps to go here in the first duel to figure out the starting order for the Daytona 500 coming next week. Again, same time, same place here, 7:15 Mountain Time, 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific. And yes, we do race on Wednesdays because Thursdays, well, that's football night in America, and there's going to be no Xfinity this week. Xfinity, they'll get their start next week. Again, they're going to be racing at Daytona, as will the trucks. They're going to be racing on Tuesday. NVRA, they're going to be racing on Sundays. So a lot of these same drivers that you see here with the UTLR crew, you will see over with the same NVRA crew. But again, 17 laps down here in the first duel of the Season 7 opener. So Duels at Daytona. We're going to go ahead and take a quick 30-second break, and then we'll be right back on the other side. Keep it locked here on UTLR Live.
It's called the birthplace of speed. Back then, it was the hard-packed sand that allowed for records to be broken. Today, it's the high banks and long straightaways. Not to mention, it's the dream of every driver and fan, offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come. We're still talking about the first one, and guarantee we'll be talking about this one. Here's to the great American race that can only be the Daytona 500.
And we are back here with the UTLR crew. Again, just want to take a quick 30 seconds, get some liquid up in my system. So got to stay hydrated out there as the seasons are changing here in early September. But again, here you see Alan Drake out front once again, continuing to lead the way. He's got Mike Osborne right behind him, as we'll once again cycle through the field, as D-Port's going to be bringing up the rear of this line. From there, go ahead, check on Bad News Ducky. It seems like everybody's content with just running single file. And here pretty soon we're going to see what the strategy is going to be, because again, they ran 48 laps. So they were originally going to run 50. They used the first lap to get everything set, and then it took me an extra lap to get everything linked up here as far as getting in and staying in rather than being kicked out and things of that nature. But there you see Mr. Evan Hilton just hanging out there in fifth place, not trying to push any issues or anything of that nature. Danny Byerly all the way up to fourth already, continuing to hang on. He's one of the drivers trying to claim his way and get into the show, as is that number 3 machine of Dakota Humphrey, aka VG Drip Slide. Has worked his way up into the top 5. So we'll go ahead and check on High Road and see where he's at in relation to everybody else. And that is him coming through 1 and 2 there on your screen. Just trying to keep some kind of momentum going. It seems like he's going to be in some danger here, probably within the next couple of laps, with Alan Drake and Osborne coming up on his heels. Foxtrot Delta still trying to run around. He's a little bit further ahead as he's getting ready to come across the start-finish line, as we see here. Running in that number 18 machine, he is also trying to qualify his way in to the show. Austin Knowles has slightly fallen back from the 78 of Jacob Willingham and the 16 machine of Alex Farrell, as those are the 2 cars ahead of him that you see there on your screen right now. Austin, he's going to be running the 08 machine in the Xfinity Series, but wanted to get his shot in here with the Daytona 500, so that's why the number 4 is considered non-chartered, because, well, nobody had it that's going to be full-time. So see a few part-timers trying to make their show, try to make a name for themselves in their 1 race allowed this year. And here we see Mr. Willingham right on the back bumper of Alex Farrell, again trying to make that 2-car tango work here as we're getting closer and closer to the pit window opening, as now we're going to slide up with Alex and see if there's any kind of a wiggle here. Actually, let's see if we can maybe hop on board with him. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and hop on board with him now. And here you see everybody is going to start coming into the pits, as that lead cycle is going to be coming around any moment now. So Alex and his group, they've decided to come in now. They're going to be 2 pit cycling as compared to what has to be assumed as the rest of this crew, as now we're on board with Danny Byerly. We've got to assume that them and the entire crew, they are going to be coming down here in just a moment's time as well. And there you see some of the leaders splitting off. And again, some of the drivers still continuing to stay out on the track. So that is going to be Evan. That is going to be Nick, that's going to be Dylan, as they all stay out on the track. They think they can push it 1 more lap. Not quite sure if they're going to make it all the way around, as there you see them blowing by Willingham and Farrell there, as now Flash is going to dive down low. And right there, he will pick up his teammate driving in that number 7 machine. So 3 different pit cycles is what it seems like we are going to be picking up now. Have to believe that Evan and the rest of the crew are going to be coming in. So it'll be Evan, Nick, Dylan, and Marquine all coming in together, you would have to think. Or maybe not. Maybe Flash does it on his own and they continue to push 1 more time around. So Blackhammer, Deport, and Bad News Ducky, they are your leaders right now, and that's who we're going to continue to go ahead and ride with here as we get closer and closer to the end of the first pit window coming to a close. Got some comments here from the group chat. Alex, you got to go back down pit road and be held for 2 laps after that. I don't know what Alex is doing. Apparently he's eating while trying to drive simultaneously. I'm not 100% sure how he's doing it. I don't know if you guys actually want to see that happen right now, but hey, it is what it is. I don't know if he's got a hot dog or what's going on, as I'm peeking over as your leaders are now coming into the pits. So Alex and co are going to go ahead and get their laps back. So we'll actually go ahead and continue to ride around with them. At least on my screen. On your screen, you guys see Black Hammer coming into the pits. He is still considered to be the leader at this moment in time. So we'll have to see how this all will shake out. Again, some of these graphics here on Heat 5, you just kind of have to worry and see what in the world is coming out. So Black Hammer is now officially out. Have to think that Deport and Ducky are going to be very close behind. Again, Alex coming around. He's now getting to the front stretch. This is at full speed. So we are going to have to see where exactly everybody shakes out. And if I see this right, I do believe it is that number 3 machine that has now gone ahead and taken the lead. So, and as we see now, that entire front crew now just blazing past Hamilton there in the number 19 machine. But again, we've got the 3 out front with the 8 sitting right behind him with the number 50 right behind him. And then you've got the 24 and the 5. That is your front 5 right there, ladies and gentlemen. So trying to keep things close, but the pit cycles have worked themselves through, and it looks like everybody has made it through cleanly. But again, as it sits right now, it is the number 3 machine continuing to lead the way. That is Dakota Humphrey, as we will go ahead and catch up with him real quick. It looks like Ducky, Flash, and Deport are all coming around 3, so they're going to have to make that line work. Maybe they made it work, maybe they didn't. High Road, he's going to slide in right behind Mr. Osborne, driving that number 5 machine, trying to make things work, trying to get his lap back, and maybe, just maybe, cycle his way back up and try to get a caution here, being that first car a lap down. However, if he's involved in the wreck, he's not going to get anywhere with that. So Foxtrot Delta still out on his own. Austin, unfortunately, out on his own, as it looks like he's picked up a little bit of damage here on the backside of his car. Again, the 78 of Willingham continue to work with Alex Farrell, as you see that here on your screen. No damage coming to that back bumper or the front bumper, so they're making the draft work to the best of their abilities. But again, Ranger still continuing to sit out front, as he's going to be in 3rd. Again, VG Drip Slide continuing to hang on to that first place spot. But again, we've gone through the entire pit cycle, so I'm going to go ahead and take another 30-second break here on UTLR Live. We'll be right back, and we'll come back for the end of Duel.
It's called the birthplace of speed. Back then, it was the hard-packed sand that allowed for records to be broken. Today, it's the high banks and long straightaways. Not to mention, it's the dream of every driver and fan, offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come. We're still talking about the first one, and guarantee we'll be talking about this one. Here's to the great American race that can only be the Daytona 500.
As we are back here on UTLR Live, again, you can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, or on Twitch. So appreciate everybody tuning in wherever they can. Again, UTLR Season 7 is brought to you by Dubby Energy. And with Dubby Energy, they've gone ahead and given us a pretty cool deal. So if you go online, get some of their new energy drinks, including their Calio Cream, which is my personal favorite, your mango and orange dreamsicle blend right there. You go online, you use the code THEFORUM, THEFORUM. Use that at checkout, get 10% off. But again, W Energy, they are on board with us for the entirety of the Season 7 run here for UTLR. So just want to give a quick shout out to W Energy. So I actually had one of their drinks earlier today. Pretty good stuff, cannot lie. So still getting used to being back in the energy drink game, but you know, we make things work. We do what we can. But here we see Foxtrot Delta, the 18, Ferdinand Damasco, riding up against the wall, making sure that he absolutely stays out of the way of the top 5. Again, that top 5 for you right now. That's going to be Dakota Humphrey, Colton Kinney, Danny Byerly, Alan Drake, and Mike Osborne all running in the top 5. But there you see the gamer tags in the lower left-hand corner of the share screen there. So Danny Byerly in the 50, that's Mountain Ranger. So also currently active duty in the Army right now. So big shout out to all of the armed forces wherever they may be, or if they are watching right now. We appreciate you guys very, very much. So, but now it looks like we've got another short change pit cycle coming, as that's going to be the 7 and the 77. So Brewer and Blevins coming in, and it looks like Alex Farrell, he is coming in as well. So it looks like they're going to go ahead, top up this way. They know they can make it the rest of the way. So we're just going to double check here, and they are going to be able to, as next time by, they're going to be at 21 laps to go, as it looks like it is just going to be a fuel and go as they all come out clean. And right behind them is that top 5 pack, and it looks like they are going to semi-LePage this, as that entire front crew coming around on the high side, getting around Farrell. Continue to hold that high side. VG Drip Slide, a.k.a. Dakota Humphrey, using that 3 machine, getting out to the lead. So the 3 and the 8 with the 50, the 24 and the 5, as they are able to clear who they need to. And it looks as though the 7 machine of Brewer is going to be that first car lap down, as they are going to be trailing right behind. So we'll continue to hang out here with the 3 machine, as I don't believe they're going to be coming in anytime soon. But in the meantime, actually, let's just go ahead and continue to cycle through everybody. Again, Black Hammer, Marquine Brewer is going to be that first car a lap down. Behind him, again, One Bad. Welcome back to UTLR. You're going to be currently riding in 5th. Kenny currently riding in 2nd. Drake currently hiding in 4th. He started the race 2nd. Deport coming around with turn number 1. He's got Evan and Jacob Willingham with him as well. As High Road continuing to ride out on his own. Same with Ferdinand Damasco. They're all kind of spaced out behind him, as Austin Knowles once again out on his own, but slowly trying to reel in Flash. They're out in front of him. As there's Knockdown. Alex, once again, he's trying to catch back up. So it looks like these cars trying to get a little bit of momentum going. But again, we're back up here to the front with Byerly maybe looking to the inside, as Kinney try to look high there for just a moment. However, he ends up just falling back into place. Kinney, he knows that he's already made the race. The 3 machine of Dakota Humphrey has not. So we'll have to see if that tandem works out and if they end up just working all together as well. I'm not quite sure if they're all a part of Dirty South Motorsports. So we'll have to look and see. I do know that Deport's in there, and the 3 and the 8 are in this together. I'll have to see who else is involved here. And again, I do apologize about this. So actually, that 50 machine is also a part of it. So, and if I'm reading that right, is Alan Drake also a part of this? Interesting. So it looks like there's been a little bit of the whole combination, but this entire Dirty South Motorsports team, again, kind of an eclectic group of cars, just all trying to make the show. 8 is the only one, or the 8 and the 24 are the only ones that are really locked in this front group. The 3, once again, trying to make his way in. The number 50, he's trying to make his way in. So all the RCR guys trying to find their way in. Deport in the 62, he is already qualified, so he is in through the charter system. As we are slowly coming around, should have about 17 laps to go here for the first duel. Again, duel number 2 is going to be coming to you live just after duel number 1 does come to a close here. So continuing to hang out and wait. But again, that top 5 of Humphrey, Kinney, Byerly, Drake, and Osborne have absolutely broken away from the rest of the pack. As I believe we are now at either 15 or 14 to go now this time by. So again, top 5 running very, very consistently together, and it looks like 8th through 11th has tried to get it all together. So we've got Flash, Blackhammer, Alex, and Austin Knowles now coming down the backstretch. They've finally gotten a 4-car tango together. And now all the leaders are coming in together as you see on your screen. So this will be an interesting call. Will it be gas only? Will there be chaos? Not quite sure if we are going to see any kind of tires being changed on any of these cars. Only time will tell. I have to think that this is going to be a gas and go type of situation. Have to absolutely believe that. As every single car is going to come out. Race off a pit road is going to be Danny Byerly. Maybe? No? Okay, it looks like everybody just came out simultaneously there. So the mix and match has worked almost to perfection here for that team as the 78 continuing to use his momentum. Trying to get around that entire crew out there on the outside is Whittingham. And the 3 is going to continue to hang on to the lead. The 78 is going to go ahead, hop in. So the only major change here, the 3 and the 8 continue to stay out front. Alan Drake now in 3rd. Byerly is going to work his way to 4th. Osborne stays in 5th. But again, that is going to be your top 5 running order. As now they've turned almost into a 6-car group, with the 78 attached to their rear quarter panel as they are coming around through turn number 1. So no real competition coming for that top 5 right now. So continuing to try to see where the rest of these drivers will finish here this afternoon or / evening / night / whenever the hell you decide to watch this. We're going to say good now. We'll just keep it at that. So whether you're watching early in the morning, whether it's late at night, or it could be 2 in the afternoon when you're watching this, we appreciate everybody's views no matter what. So is the race glitchy for anybody else? It's almost like stop motion. It is a little bit like that. Unfortunately, with NASCAR Heat 5, sometimes it can end up being glitchy, especially if you are just watching because it's trying to keep up with everybody else. But Typhil, I appreciate you tuning in. Again, trying to keep this as clean as we possibly can. So, again, we do know that Heat 5, it's as clean as it can be. Sometimes they end up slamming into each other even though they haven't even hit each other in real life. That's just one of the downsides when you're trying to stream for NASCAR Heat 5. It turns into a situation like this. So, again, leaders are continuing to set the pace as they're coming through 3 and 4. That next group behind them is just now coming into 1 and 2. So, very big gap for that crew there. So, but yeah, 7th, 8th, and 9th are just now getting ready to come through the 3 and 4 now. So let's see if we can actually go catch them. There they are. So Flash with Black Hammer and UTLR Storm. That is going to be your 7th, 8th, and or 6th, or yeah, 7th, 8th, and 9th place drivers on the track. Again, your top 5 are all here on your screen, including VG Drip Slide in the 3 machine, with the number 8 of Colton Kinney right behind him, the 24 of Alan Drake, the 50 of Danny Byerly, 5 of Mike Osborne, as well as the 78 machine of Jacob Willingham. But I do believe that the number 11 machine is in 6th, but we will have to see where that all shakes out. And now we've got some small little things adding up here. So again, I do apologize if it is coming across as stop motion. But we are trying to make it work as best as we can. We do know that everybody's connected to the best of their abilities as well. So trying to make things work as well as we can. So I know we've just lost a couple viewers because of that, and for that I do apologize. But coming around, should only have about a handful of laps left to go here in this race, as now tires may start becoming an issue if none of these drivers took tires. We do know that some may start experiencing a blown tire here very, very soon, especially those right rears getting really, really low on a lot of these cars. But again, the front pack almost half of a track ahead of the next real big pack, if there is one, as we are going to come to 7 to go this time with Mr. Dakota Humphrey out front, continuing to lead. It almost feels like he's just absolutely tearing it up. I'm not sure if this is just a ploy to get him into the show, but again, only the top 3 of the transfers are going to make it. And those transfers were the 3 car, the 18 car, the 50 car, the 66, the 4, and the 78. So we know pretty sure if the cars stand as they are. The 3 and the 50 will end up making the show. Now it'll just be a matter of who gets the rest. And right now, if I am seeing this right, I do believe that it'll be Black Hammer. Or no, he's already locked in. Okay, so it may be a finish between the 66, the 78, and the 4 machine here late to see who gets that final spot. As again, we are coming around. Only a handful of laps to go. 4 drivers all within the quote-unquote RCR camp, all making things work. Again, Nick Stills in the 62 machine, he's already locked in, so he's not too worried if he makes a good finish here or not. He knows that when it comes to actual race day, he's going to have a great day indeed. So coming around 3 and 4 now, it's going to be 5 to go with Humphrey, Kinney, Drake, Osborne, and Byerly all together here. This may be it as far as who is going to start where. Again, Evan Helton, he's already guaranteed to start on the pole. That's in the 11 machine. Everything else is setting that first row. As we'll continue to ride around and see if we can get a couple of different camera angles for you guys, at least see if anything happens behind the boys. So, but again, it's been this 5-car group has really made things work. Mike Osborne, he was already locked in as the highest speed transfer in qualifying, so he was locked in no matter what. But otherwise, he would have been the other transfer in. But again, do believe that it's going to come down to Knights, Knowles, or Willingham. I just don't know if Damasco has enough in the tank to get back up to the front. But again, leaders are already coming through 1 and 2 now. Just kind of crazy to me to think that 6th, 7th, and 8th are going to be coming through 1 and 2 by the time that these guys are coming through 3 and 4. Byerly's starting to look a little high. Maybe we're going to get a little bit of action here to end this race just a little bit. Give us a little bit of entertainment here, boys. I mean, I get it. The 5 of you have absolutely dominated this race. That's how it's looked. That's how it will continue to look. I'm sure you guys are doing just fine here, as now we've come across the stripe. It's now going to be 3 to go this time. So it'll be Humphrey, Kinney, Drake, Byerly, Osborne for this 3 to go. as we are continuing to ride along, as now it looks like Kenny and Barley have tried to go high. They're going to end up falling all the way to the back. Osborne's going to work his way up to third. Drake's up to second, and Humphrey's going to continue to hang on to the lead. As now we're coming across the stripe, Kenny thinks he's got a run. It's going to be 2 to go this time. And now the number 3 machine, he's going to go high, try to block the Kenny run. Is now, what is he going to do? He's going to continue to stay high. Is now that's a 3-on-2 running that high line as they're now coming through the corners. As now everybody's trying to get lined back up. Kenny's now back out in the second. Byerly trying to fight his way up to third. He's got Drake side by side coming down the backstretch with a lap and a half to go. It's now coming through the corners. It looks like the 3 machine is continuing to hang on and stay out front. That'll be Dakota Humphrey. He's coming around 3 and 4. And I'm going to wait because I guess that we're a little bit behind on our stream as compared to what I'm seeing live. But again, this will be it. It will be your top 5 as we are 1 to go in duel number 1 here at Daytona. Again, everybody leading into single file. Nothing too crazy at this point in time. Nobody's going to try to make a move yet. Everybody's going to stay single file. As we come down the backstretch, it looks like Drake's going to try to pop high. He's not going to have any friendlies with him. Maybe Osborne. Nope, Osborne's going to stay low. As we're going to come down through 3 and 4. Going to stay single file. As they're going to dive underneath Willingham. Nobody's going to make a move, and that will be Dakota Humphrey coming away with duel number 1. So Dakota Humphrey, he's going to come away with the victory in the first duel. It'll be Kenny who comes home second. As we'll get the rest of the order here in just a moment. So, it was Humphrey followed by Kenny, Byerly, Osborne, Drake. And then it was the 7 of Marquine Brewer. He's in. Alex finishes 8th. Flash finishes 9th. In your transfer, your last transfer is going to be the 78 machine of Jacob Willingham. He finishes 9th. He finishes ahead of Deport, who finishes 10th. Bad News Ducky, he finishes 11th, but he's going to end up being on the pole. But unfortunately, that means that is the end for Knights, Knowles, Damasco as well. So appreciate those guys turning up and showing out here. But again, it is the number 3 machine of VG Drip Slide coming away with the victory. He's going to transfer. Byerly, with his 3rd place finish, he's going to transfer. And then it will be the 78 of Jacob Willingham. He ends up going a lap down, ends up finishing still in the top 10, and he will be making the transfer. So, pretty solid day at the office for this first of 2 duels, as we've gone about an hour into the show. But again, Vortex Boom, Foxtrot, Delta, they are done, as is Knights in the 66 machine. So we're going to go ahead and back out as we get ready for duel number 2. And for duel number 2, let's see if we have that starting lineup readily available, as we should be getting it here in just a moment's time. So, but again, appreciate everybody tuning in here on UTLR Live, whether it's through our Facebook, YouTube, or our Twitch channels. So we've officially gone an hour here. Wait. So duel number 2 is going to be getting ready here in just a moment. But in the meantime, appreciate everybody hanging out. If you guys got any questions or anything, feel free to drop those in. There we go with all that. But as it sits right now, do believe all 17 drivers are making the second duel here. So what does that mean? That means Tyler Compton in the 45 is going to be bringing up the rear starting in 17th. It'll be Stephen Davis the second and Zach Evans in the 23 and 10 bringing up the 7th row. And then number 14, Cody Bonner on the outside, Jacob Border on the inside. He's driving the 34 machine. Last year's reigning defending Cup champion Luke Smith starting in 12th. Hunter Dowling making his rookie debut in the 31. He starts 11th. Your top 10 will consist of 2 rookies trying to make the show. That'll be Jackson Stotts on the inside in 42, followed by David Phillips in the number 6 machine on the outside. Row number 4, you've got Jaden Browser on the inside. He's looking to race his way in. He's in the number 2 machine. Jimmy Ramsey, he's a rookie as well, racing for Trackhouse. He's in the 99 machine. He'll be starting on the outside. Row number 3, you've got Jerry Robertson. He's also working his way and trying to race his way in. He's driving the number 17 machine. With Brian Bushnell, a.k.a. Irate Bluto, he's going to be starting in 6th. In row number 2, you've got Art Denny, who's taking over the 12 machine. He will be starting in 3rd. And on the outside, it'll be Pat continuing to stay with his number 48. And on the front row, your starter for next Wednesday's race in the number 47 machine. My old car, his car officially. It'll be John Dean officially in his now rookie season here with the UTLR Cup Series. And it'll be Dr. Clater, a.k.a. Zach Allen, on the outside of row number 1. So that is all 17 drivers that are expected to make the show for duel number 2. Again, quick shout out to Dubby Energy. Appreciate him and them, not just him, but all of them, tuning in and giving us a little bit of something for the entire season. And with that, again, w.gg, use code the forum, go get 10% off there. So again, I know that it's a little bit of a slow time right now. So we're just currently waiting for the second duel to start. So while we do that, again, just a friendly reminder of what is on the other side.
It's called the birthplace of speed. Back then, it was the hard-packed sand that allowed for records to be broken. Today, it's the high banks and long straightaways. Not to mention, it's the dream of every driver and fan, offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come. We're still talking about the first one, and guarantee we'll be talking about this one. Here's to the great American race that can only be the Daytona 500.
Yes, it is the Daytona 500, and that is coming to you guys next week right here on all of the UTLR live channels, whether it's through Twitch, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's through Facebook, you name it. One way or another, these guys are going to be going at it. So again, should be getting the call here in just a moment for duel number 2 to get started. See if we can maybe get a couple of the other drivers from duel number 1 if they want to hop in and get their perspective of what happened there in duel number 1. We'll give them that opportunity to come on in and talk to everybody here live. So we'll see if anybody does take us up on that offer. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of staring at my face. So, but we're making it work. So Again, not quite sure why it's all coming through a little bit choppy right now, but we are trying to work through those issues right now. We've gotten through one. We've still got one more duel to get through here tonight. And the first duel took about an hour, so have to expect that this one will also take about that same amount of time. So, while we're waiting on that, we'll see what we can do about getting a starting lineup here put in for you guys. And that is the old one. So we'll make sure that we get it updated. And we know what we're doing out here. But again, Willingham coming from 15th, start finishing 9th, and making his way in. Brewer, he was already in, but unfortunately for Knights, Knowles, and Damasco, it was the end of their night. So, let's see what we can do here. As we're getting everything typed in, this way you guys can follow along with your favorite driver. We'll have the ticker at the bottom for you, so you can follow whoever you feel like. There we go. All right. There we go. Now you guys can all see who's gone on where at the bottom. Follow your favorite driver there. Again, coming out of that first. Oh, God. My rib. It popped. Went to the chiropractor. Ouch. It hurts. But boy, do I feel better. I tell you what, if you ever need a chiropractor, go see one. It's definitely worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely freaking worth it. But again, waiting on the last few little bits. Not quite sure when we are going to get going. So hopefully it is here soon. As now, once again, interesting. Maybe it is my internet. Shouldn't be. Pretty sure that I'm hardwired, but apologize if it's coming through blocky for you guys. If it is, then something that I need to fix on my side here very, very soon. But again, all of your drivers here, all supposed 17 of them who are supposed to be making the show, are officially here. So we'll have to see how this all works out. See if we get any new comments coming in. Hope it's as fun as ours was. Yeah, no, I guarantee you, man. You guys had a pretty good show. Granted, there was no yellows or anything like that, so it was very much green flag run, and that is perfectly okay. Kind of what we might expect to see, especially when it comes to the Daytona 250 next week. But still, hell of a run for you, man. Excited to see you start up in the top 10 there in that number 5 machine. So, not sure if you guys all got the link, but if any of you guys from the first stage want to come in and talk about your experience there for your duel, it is more than open. The link is in the comment section there in the group chat. So continuing to wait and see if a invite is going to be coming anytime soon. So we're now almost about 15 minutes past. So usually that's what it takes for these guys to get everything together. So now that race is done, we've got 15 minutes, and right now we've got about 3 minutes to go before everything gets started here. Again, Jackson Stotts earlier tonight coming through saying that he was super excited to sub in for SP tonight, as he's got the 43 and 44 there to help. Yeah, I mean, those are two very big names there to help you in Dr. Clater and last year's champion in LRS. So we'll have to see how that goes. I wish it was an easy win for Toby Welsh. He was supposed to be there in the 20 machine, however, he ended up not showing. But let's see here. I know that we had one other prediction. Yeah, Luke, buddy, don't think Ducky won it. Even though he's on the pole, he did not end up winning there. So, and then one bad. Hendricks led all the way to green flag pit, then came out with 3 teammates together. So it was Hendricks versus RCR. Yeah, RCR, they definitely had a contingency 50 being the quote unquote pseudo RCR car there. But yeah, no, the 3 and the 50, they were racing to get their way into the 500 and absolutely did so emphatically, finishing first and third. So that'll be a fun little bit there. But yeah, no, the RCR guys, they're definitely going to be some kind of fun to watch, especially here in the early season. And plus, you have them littered throughout, especially myself. I'm driving a 92 for the RCR camp here in Xfinity this season. If you can, add me on whatever list you want. Why So Serious 8135 on Xbox, and we will gladly link up and make things work. So it looks like we've got a couple of onboards coming from very early in the race. So we'll have to see how that all works out there. But again, continuing to wait for the official invite from duel number 2. So we will have to see. We're getting vibrations from the area above the studio here. Again, Greg Miller Studios. We're waiting on the official neon to officially occupy this space right here. So we'll have our guy riding with us every day that we are live here for UTLR Live. So shout out Caitlin. I know that you've been doing a lot on your own for the last 8 months. It's been hard on all of us. I know it's not harder on anybody else but you. So we'll let you know we still love you. We still care about you, even though we know that our good friend Greg is no longer here. But just want to give you a quick shout out. Show you love, because we know that that's what Greg would have wanted. So, but we've officially hit the 15-minute mark. Still waiting on an invite from duel number 2. So we should be getting that going here in just a moment for you guys. Appreciate everybody staying tuned in here. See all 5 of you. I see one person liked us on Facebook. So, hey, shout out Facebook. Making things rock and roll here. So we'll have to see what some of these other comments are coming in here. But it looks like all of Dirty South together officially. So they're going to go celebrate tonight, as I believe all 4 of their guys are officially in the show that are eligible to make said show. So they're going to have fun. Again, One Bad representing Hendrick Motorsports there in the 5 machine, along with Alan Drake in that 24. All 5 of them really had a fantastic plan, putting it all together. Just could not end it at the top, where I'm sure a lot of them wanted to be. But hey, again, shout out to Dakota Humphrey taking that number 3 back to victory lane at Daytona International Speedway. All right. And there's the invite. So we can finally get this thing going. So shout out Luke for the invite. So we're going to get connected here, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. As you see, the 17 2 Prime. It's Jerry Robertson. He's a rookie this year. Going to try to race his way in to the show. There's a few other drivers will be trying to race their way in as well. Those being Jerry Robertson, Dew Pride, number 17, the 2 machine of Jaden Browser, the 42 Jackson Stotts, the 6 of David Phillips, the 34 of Jacob Border, the 14 Cody Bonner, the 10 of Zach Evans, the 23 of Stephen Davis II, and number 45 Tyler Compton, all trying to race their way in. So Dean, Allen, Denny, Hackney, Bushel, Ramsey, Dowling, and Smith all already locked into the show. But who's going to be the other 3 to join them? That is going to be the big, big question now. So officially waiting to get back in. And once again, we're running into the same issue. All right. Not quite sure what happened there, but we'll have to see if there's another way in. I don't know if there necessarily is another way in, unfortunately. Yeah, don't think so. Well, this could make for an interesting evening. Well, everybody's stream is also dead. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do this. Maybe Luke. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can get ourselves in. We're going to find a way here, ladies and gentlemen. We always do. So they're still in the warm-up lap, thankfully. So hopefully we can get in here. I don't know why I wasn't able to get in the first time. Maybe I can for this second run. I think last time it was 3rd time's the charm. I think that's what it was. I could be completely wrong on this, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely wrong. So, but we'll have to see what that is all about. So we'll see what this will do as far as getting our full screen look. Again, you see everybody's name at the bottom. And again, trying to load in. I promise you guys, I'm trying to load in. Yeah, Duel 2, let's go. All right, here we go. We're going to try this one more time. I don't know why it's continuing to kick me out, but we've had this issue before. I know, guys. I'm coming. I promise. I am coming. So, Danny, it actually took me a little bit to get up and running the first time, but hey, I got in. I saw you coming away with that third place there, bud. I seen you. So we're gonna try to get this to work. That's the big thing. I'm not quite sure why I got in the first duel, but not into the second. Like, it wants to let me in. It absolutely wants to let me in. I just don't know why. And here we have the loading screen, and I guarantee you, here in a sec, it's going to say, yeah. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it's not connecting me. I don't know what it is. I genuinely don't know. All right, one more time, maybe. Oh, okay. So they're restarting the lobby. All right. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why that's even happening. Yeah, that's weird because literally you guys saw me just fine in the first one. So, but yeah, no, we definitely need a new game. Can't come soon enough. All right. No, I appreciate you, buddy. Definitely appreciate you. So, appreciate everybody who stayed tuned in here on UTLR Live. Again, go online, dubby.gg, get your 10% off your first order and every order after that. HD tried to send you an invite and he accidentally backed out. No kidding. You don't say, my friend. Alex coming through on the backside there. Let me know what's going on. So we will have to see what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. But again, we're just kind of hanging out, chilling. Again, I do apologize for the inconvenience here. We're trying to make things you guys a little bit of something. Enjoy some Pablo Sanchez in your background. Maybe if I just played the music, maybe it works. I don't know. You gotta try everything in dire situations, I tell you what. Yeah, I'm definitely trying here, bud. Hey, guess what, boys? You play the music, and the drivers come. It works, ladies and gentlemen. We are in. So, we're going to let these boys get all set up here. Let everybody get it together. Then it'll be that 47 machine out front with the 44. So Freeman Allen on that front row. Art Denny and Chris Hackney will be bringing up row number 2. Jerry Robertson, Brian Bushnell make up row number 3. Row number 4 will be Jaden Browser and Jimmy Ramsey. Row number 5, Jackson Stotts, David Phillips, both rookies, both trying to make the show. Row number 6, Hunter Dowling in the 31 machine, and your reigning defending Cup champion in Luke Smith in the 43 machine. He will be starting 12th. On row number 7, you've got Jacob Border and Cody Bonner in the 34 and 14 respectively. Row number 8, Zach Evans and Stephen Davis II. And bringing up the rear in the 45 will be Tyler Compton. So, not quite sure what's happening, but the screen is green. Interesting. Okay. Let me see what's going on with it here on my side. As it looks like everything is okay on my side. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. So, interesting situations happening for sure. So, let's see if we can just maybe do that and then do that. I know you guys got a little bit of a transition there on your screen. Whoa, crazy, right? Yeah. See, I can try to make things work. I can make things work, but it looks like we are going to go ahead and say that we are officially going. Are we going? God, it just looked so slow for half a second, but it does look like we're officially finally going to be underway here. So John Dean did decide to start on the outside, as is his choice. Being the pole sitter, continuing to try to run that high line. He's got Clater below him. And then that top line trying to make things work here early with R. Denny out in third. He's going to be the second car on the bottom of your screen, riding along here with the number 12. Definitely lagging. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not 100% sure why that is. So it may just have to be something here on my side that I work through here over the next week. So I know last week ended up having a wire that ended up getting bitten through by a rabbit or something. That wasn't fun, but hey, at least we've got something, I guess. So we'll try to make this work where we can, but as it stands right now, it looks like the 44 of Clater is going to jump up in front of John Dean, going to take that lead away as we are officially through lap number 1. There's now more and more commotion coming around through the 1 and 2 as it looks like the 12. That's R. Denny. It looks like he's going to maybe get a push there from Robertson. That should be for the lead if he is able to hang on to it. But right now, it looks like we've got 2 lines out here actually making it work. A high line and a low line for the definite front. And then it looks like we've got a few drivers kind of straggling towards the back. As now Smith's going to work his way through, as we see him there back of the top row, as he's going to jump right down in front, and he's going to try to stay with that 42 machine. So teammates trying to make things work here early as the race goes on. But again, R. Denny now climbing out to the front as now that top line started to dissipate just a little bit. So that'll be R. Denny out front with Jerry Robertson and Jaden Browser. So Browser coming through in that number 2 machine. That is 1, 2, and 3. So 12, 17, and 2. And then right behind them, you've got the 42. That's Jackson Stotts trying to make his way up. He's trying to race his way in. It'll be him and Robertson would be the first 2, and Jaden Browser would be number 3 to make the transfer. Again, there are, I want to say, 9 drivers trying to make the transfer. Only the top 3 are going to make it. So, be very interesting to see how this all shakes down. But let's go ahead and start cycling through these drivers. So, but first, we might as well start with the reigning defending champion, LRS, as he is trying to make the high line work here. As again, with this low draft package, it's going to be a variation of different things and different combinations trying to make everything work in some way, shape, or form. As there we see him continue to try to work that high side. It's Hunter Dowling that's coming up in front of him. John Dean started on the pole, has found his way back up. It's now seems like the two-line tango has turned into a little bit of a snake here. As again, that is going to be Ardeni out front, Robertson in second. That'll be Browser coming in third. Let's see if we can ride along with Dr. Clater. Round out these 40s cars real quick. And again, there you see him just a couple car lengths behind, trying to get through the back bumper of HD. Is John Dean coming up from behind. John Dean in the 47 machine, guaranteed to start in second for next week's 500, or really the 250, as we're going to be running 50% times 2 low draft wear. So again, should see a lot of similar racing to what we are seeing now. But again, still a whole lot of snake right now. Nobody really trying to press the issue. It's way too early to start. And again, Dusty Stud, we've highlighted him a little bit. He took over to 47 for me about halfway through the year, as I was busy with broadcasting up in the state of Wyoming. So good to see a great driver taking over the 47 machine. He took over that ride. He was also in, I want to say, the 66 car in Xfinity. I don't know, but he was dominated in Xfinity too. There was quite a run where he was continually finishing second. He was finally able to break that first. And now we see Jake Browser getting cycled out, and he's going to get shoved all the way to the back, as it looks like Hack has made his way up into the top 4. So, but again, Dew Prime, he is Jerry Robertson, another rookie here with UTLR, as we'll move up to him now. So, continuing to get that second place run going, but now it looks like Jackson Stocks may have something trying to build there on the outside. The 34 machine maybe is trying to make things very, very interesting here late. That's going to be Jacob Porter. Didn't even see him work his way up through the ranks, but there he is. He's going to be in third. As again, that top line trying to make something happen. And they've got enough cars to make it work. So the 42 with the 48 in tow, that's Chris Hackney. He's been a long-time driver here with UTLR as well. They're going to try to make that high line work with Luke Smith. Hunter Dowling's going to try to come with. So will Clater. So will Dean. And I think Irate Pluto. I mean, I don't even know where to even start with what we're going to get here in just a moment here, ladies and gentlemen. But coming around 3 and 4, it does look like the 42 machine of Jackson Stotts has found his way up to the front, and he's going to lead the lap. So that low line continuing to try to make things work, but it's that high side that has gotten it all put together now. So that low line now led by Hack, not able to keep up with that speed of that top lane, but still a 3-car tandem trying to make things work. As now it looks as though, all right, Pluto trying to make things work up top, and now dropping down. There goes John Dean right there. He's going to try to make that low line work, and now all of a sudden we've got a whole commotion of cars going down to the bottom. And that's going to be Luke Smith, who finds his way to the bottom. And I do believe with that, that should put him in the lead. However, I believe they did let Jackson Stotts back in. So it should be Stotts back out in front. And that 42 machine followed by the number 43. And then the 44. So again, Jackson, he came in earlier today talking about how he was going to be relying on some of his teammates to get into the show. So literally, you can't make this up. This is a driver of the 42 saying, excited to come to the Cup Series, subbing for SP in the 42. He's a great guy. Looking forward to making a strong run to lock myself into the season opener. My teammates in the 43 and 44 will be my guys to help. Well, right now, my friend, you've got some help, but it doesn't look like you're going to have it for very long, my friend. Looks like Luke Smith and the veterans have said, nah. We're going to find our way to the front, and you're going to have to find your way out the rest of the way. So it'll be Smith, Clater, Dusty Stud, and here comes Hack once again, using that momentum to try to swing his way forward, as well as the 12 car. That is Denny trying to find his way back up into the front pack. Again, it looks like we got about 10 cars built into this front pack. So I believe it's actually going to be the top 11. So let's see where the rest of this crew is. And there is everybody else, led by the 45 at Tyler Compton. Stephen Davis coming up in the 23. He's going to get bumped by the 10. That's Zach Evans. And then following him is going to be Cody Bonner. And then it looks like Jimmy Ramsey's back there as well in the 99 machine. Fortunately for Ramsey, he's already locked in to the show. And then there's the number 6 machine of David Phillips. So not the ideal start that I think these guys wanted to see, especially with a lot of these guys trying to race their way in. But coming back to the front here, holy cow, we've got another 2 wide tango finally working here at Daytona. That's what you like to see. Continuing to try to make things work. So you've got Zach Allen leading the bottom. You got Luke Smith leading the top. As now you see everybody hitting a little bit of a wiggle there. Things once again trying to break down just a little bit. High side's going to have momentum. And there goes Clater to block the top, and Jackson Stotts is going to go low. So these numbers are continuing to stay relatively even as they are coming through, as now we're going to be coming through the 3 and 4, and the 12 gets loose, and we've got a pinball effect. Oh, okay. Well, everybody looks like they come out of it clean. Not sure who got the worst of that, but LRS, he's been shuffled way back now. It looks like Irate Pluto is back there as well. I think Luke Smith is going to be back there. Maybe it's John Dean. Not quite sure who is all in the back there. So a little bit of a kerfuffle going on as the 12 machine of Denny ends up getting pinball around, and he ends up coming out really looking good, as there we see him in second place. But Hack now taking the lead in the 48 machine, working his way up through the front. Jerry Robertson hanging on to third in the 17. Then you got Alan Drake in the 44. And then the number 2 machine of Jaden Browser finding his way back up towards the front. But it looks like Luke Smith is going to bring up the rear. So it looks like we've gone from 11 cars to 9 cars now out front in the pack. Still, nobody really looking to push the issue. However, again, that 34 machine, Jacob Border, he's really been a pretty decent surprise. He's currently running in the 6th position. As we'll go ahead right along with him for just a moment, see if we can look back a little bit. As now the cars are starting to break apart just enough. So again, this 9-car tango up front, if the 2 can keep it above those lines, we all know how that goes here at Daytona. You barely catch the apron, you're going to go slipping and sliding all over the place. But yeah, it looks like it was Irate Pluto and John Dean who ended up getting the worst of that Denny pinball effect, as they're kind of in the middle, running by themselves, and then they've got the 6-car group behind them. But now, again, you see Jack Boy, a.k.a. the Jackson Stotts, trying to find his way back up to the front. He led a couple laps earlier. But so far, it looks like we've gotten a little bit more into the snake. So not a whole lot of other action happening right now, but that doesn't mean that that cannot change very, very quickly. But again, riding back along with our Denny, he was the really benefactor. He started third, now up to second. But again, you see Hack out in front of him. He is currently your leader. But going to take a quick 30-second break. This way I could get some water in my system. This way you guys could get a little bit less annoyed with my voice. So we'll be right back here on UTLR Live.
It's called the birthplace of speed. Back then, it was the hard-packed sand that allowed for records to be broken. Today, it's the high banks and long straightaways. Not to mention, it's the dream of every driver and fan, offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come. We're still talking about the first one, and guarantee we'll be talking about this one. Here's to the great American race that can only be the Daytona 500.
And welcome back here to UTLR Live, presented by Dubby Energy. Again, go to dubby.gg. Go get yourself 10% off with code THEFORUM, THEFORUM. And that'll get you 10% off your order this time and every other time you decide to get a clean energy drink. Just got myself some water and a little bit of that Calio cream. Again, mango and orange dreamsicle. Oh, you cannot name a much better flavor than that. But again, W Energy coming through with the clutch, coming through with the sponsorship through the entirety of Season 7 here for UTLR. So appreciate them reaching into their bag and giving us a little bit of a dime here and there as well. But again, Hackney continuing to lead the way with Denny right in front of him. That's going to be Robertson right behind them in third. As now it looks like it's a 3-car tandem, and then just barely off their back bumper is going to be the 44 of Zach Allen. And then again, number 2 machine, Jaden Browser, trying to race his way in as well. So again, if you caught it at the beginning, we had 35 drivers qualified for the duels. However, only 25 are making the show. All those that are regularly chartered are guaranteed in. Evan Helton in the 11, he will be starting on the pole no matter what. He ended up finishing 11th in the first duel. John Dean in the 47 machine here in duel number 2, he will be starting second. And the winner of duel number 1 was the number 3 machine of VG Drip Slide 9. Also, or that's at least his gamer tag, but he had a really, really, really good showing. There did Dakota Humphrey. Colton Kinney came home second. Danny Byerly coming home third. Mike Osborne coming home fourth or fifth. So we'll have the official lineup here in just a little bit. But the big story with that, Dakota Humphrey was racing his way in, as was Danny Byerly. And the eventual third place driver who made the transfer was none other than the 78 machine of Jacob Willingham, finishing a lap down but still finishing in the top 10. And with that ended up sending home Ferdinand Damasco, Ben Knights, and Austin Knowles. However, Austin is not going anywhere anytime soon. Neither are the other drivers that we listed. You could still catch them in our Xfinity Series action coming next Thursday. So, but as far as duel number 2 goes, you've got Jerry Robertson in the 17. He's currently holding down third place. He would be your first transfer. And Jaden Browser currently hanging on to 5th. He would be due for it, as now we are going to get our first of many pit cycles, and that's going to allow Jacob Border to stay out. And as it stands right now, Jacob Border would be the third transfer in, as you would still need work from Jackson Stotts in the 42, David Phillips in the 6, Cody Bonner in the 14, Zach Evans in the 10, Stephen Davis in the 23, and Tyler Compton in the 45. So a little bit of damage here is we're going to see from the 23 machine here in just a moment. As all the leaders are coming out, and gotta love the physics here in Heat 5. I tell you that right now. You'll see it. You'll see it. And there we go. We're going to drive sideways. It's great, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Gotta love it there. So again, Jacob Border currently holding down the lead as it looks like everybody's on just about the same pit cycle. As now that is the 34 coming in by himself. We'll have to see how that definitely works out. So, and again, we got Esports Racing Network saying everything will get figured out before the 500. Just got to add a few more touches and fixes. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. We are definitely trying to get things rocking and rolling the best that we can here on our side. So, but again, Jacob Border now coming out of the pits, and he's got a whole lot of track in front of him. However, I'm not going to make it easy for him because it feels like Jaws is coming up behind him. The whole little dun 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 dun, and there they go. And amazingly out front, if I saw that right, codename NMG Clean, but that's going to be Jaden Browser out front. So Jaden Browser, he's going to come away with the lead after the pit cycle, as now everybody has worked their way through here. As now Zach Allen's going to come up in second. Robertson still hanging on to third in that 17 machine. And there's that 42 of Jackson Stotts. We saw him earlier say that he's going to do his best to show out. And right now he's showing that, hey, he's going to do everything in his power to continue to show out. But again, NMG Clean coming back. Jaden Browser, saw him for a short time in one of the seasons here in the recent past with UTLR, is now we're going to be coming around 1 and 2, and he's going to come down and he's going to shoot up, and I don't think that's where you want to go, my friend. Clean, that is not where you want to be, because look right down there at the bottom. That's the 17 of Jerry Robertson. He's going to find a lot of open space. He's going to take the lead. So a little bit of a mix-up here. As now it's the 17 of Robertson out front. He's got Browser right behind him and Stotts in third. And right there, those three drivers right there would be your three to transfer in. Everybody else that is trying to race their way in, they would be going home right now if the race ended right now. However, we still got about 25 laps to go here or so in the race. So let's continue to cycle through, as now it looks like it's really broken off into about an 8 or 7 car pack here from this angle. So again, it's going to be Robertson with Browser and Stotts. That is your top three. And then you've got Denny leading the next wave. That's Dowling behind him. Then he's got Allen with him. And then once again, LRS continuing to come up silently but surely in that number 43 machine. That's what he did best during the run to the championship last year. He was just quietly consistent. And then bringing up the rear in this front pack, it's going to be the 48 of Hack. So, again, a nice little 8-car tango going on. As we look a little bit further back, is again, you see some of these other drivers continuing to try to race their way in with the 99 of Jimmy Ramsey. He's already in, but you see the 23, that's Steven Davis. You've got the 10 right there, Zach Evans trying to race his way in, Tyler Compton in the 45, Cody Bonner in the 14, the 6 of David Phillips. And I do believe that Jacob Border is that car out in front of them, kind of floating around on his own. So we'll have to check back with them. And again, Dusty Stud, Eric Pluto, they know that they're going to be good. They know that they're solidly into the 500. So no need to try to push the issue in any way, shape, or form. They're going to be a 2-car tandem probably for the rest of the race. Maybe they could catch something on the backside. Maybe a caution comes. But duel number 1, there was no caution. We almost had it just about 10 laps ago or so, with R. Denny pinballing and making 3 wide and really breaking up this pack. But coming back and talking about that pack, again, the 17 machine of Dew Prime, a.k.a. Jerry Robertson, once again leading the way with the 2 and the 42 in tow. So they come around to the backstretch now. So far, still nobody else trying to make a move. It feels like now everybody had their fun. They tried to push the limit there in that first run. The second run, it's all about who's going to preserve the most and who's going to make it all the way to the end of it. So, but again, got more people commenting in. Another one from Mountain Ranger saying, looking good right now. Yeah, so far, race has been looking pretty good, similar to what you guys just ran in duel number one. Definitely, you guys' was a little bit cleaner, but again, that's what you get when you got a lot of drivers in this half of the duel trying to compete to make their way in as compared to your guys's. So, but again, these top three, they would be the transfers in the 17, the 2, and the 42, which would send the 6, 34, 14, 10, 23, and 45 all home packing. But again, not the end of the world, as they would also be making their names in the Xfinity and Truck Series as the season does go on. So again, we'll just kind of cycle our way back through, as it looks like they have caught the 34 machine, that backpack of Jacob Porter. So really, you've got 3 packs. You've got an 8-pack, a 2-pack, and a 7-pack. Something has to give. If this 7 could catch the 2, maybe they can make a run at the 8. I just don't know if it's going to be enough as we continue to see where these guys are at compared to where that front pack is at. It's a little alarming. It is definitely a little bit alarming. So there's your front pack, and there's your backpack. So, or I guess your front runners. So definitely almost a full straightaway length between the guys. But where's the guys in the middle? There they are. They're just riding around, minding their own business. As they're coming out of 1 and 2. Yeah, they've got a little bit of space to go. So seems pretty evened out. So these 2 cars, again, just try to make things work. As the backpack, as many would probably call them. And now you back to the front pack, again, right along with the 42 machine of Jackson Stotts. Trying to make things work here. See, that car's been a little bit beat up, so there's been a lot of beating and banging in this race compared to the first duel. Again, that first duel being won by Dakota Humphrey in the 3-car, absolutely tearing it up and making sure that that 3-car made it through to the next round, as did Danny Byerly in that 50 machine. And again, Jacob Willingham driving the 78. Congratulations to him. He is the 3rd transfer from the first race. But so far, still not a whole lot of action going on here. You've still got Robertson continuing to lead this Tango out front, as well as the 2 and the 42 machine. But still, no major changes other than the fact that, if I am seeing that right, I do believe that that is Dowling, who has found his way back to 8th. So he's fallen in there at the back of the pack. And there you see him. So don't let the name fool you. When his gamer tag being HD Bowen, he's in the 31. He's not in the 48. Hack, he just refuses to give up the 48 machine. Otherwise, that would just work out way too well. So, but again, 7-car pack, a little bit further back. Everybody back here, really, a lot of them trying to race their way in. The only one that is not having to really force their way into the next round is that 99, but he's continuing to lead, trying to make a 7-car tandem get going here to see if they can maybe have any shot of running down that 8-car group. But now we've got a little bit more of a change. Not quite sure what happened, but now the 17, he's been shuffled all the way to the back. Pretty sure he caught the apron and popped up high, as now once again back to the front. It is the number 2 machine of Jaden Browser. So Jaden would make it, and now he's going to get popped up high with Jackson Stott's going to go underneath him. Just like that. And now it looks like it's going to be the 2's turn to go ahead and cycle his way to the back of the crew. So, Jackson Stotts will now take over the lead. That is R. Denny in second, or Richard Denny in second. Luke Smith coming up in fourth, where Zach Allen is currently hanging on to third. Hack moves his way up into the top five. HD, or Hunter Dowling, will move into sixth. Jerry Robertson, seventh. That two machine. Jaden Browser hanging on to that last spot. So right now, the way that this is trending, this may end up being the three no matter what happens here, unless we get something absolutely catastrophic coming here from the guys. Then I don't expect there to be too much of a change. We might obviously get a little bit of a change just to see who's going to start where. The only spot that is solidified is going to be the number 42 machine, or the number 47 machine of Dusty Stud. And he's guaranteed to start on the outside of row number one, because he's got Irate Pluto with him there on your screen, or Brian Bushmill. So both of these guys pretty hard nosed. However, there's no point in trying to push the issue. They both know that they've made it, and they know that there are bigger fish to fry when it comes to the Daytona 250 coming next week here, next Wednesday, where it says UTLR Duels. That will no longer say it. It'll just say the UTLR Daytona, as that is going to be our first stop of the season, as it has been with every year, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon. But we're going to go back in the field just a little bit, because I'm sure that you guys just kind of saw it on screen. The front pack of 8 have found their way up to the back bumpers almost of the 47 and the 9. Is now just looks like they're just kind of having some fun up in front of them. However, it looks like the 17 might have fallen off just a little bit. I'm not sure what in the world just happened there. And it looks like a few have. Because all of a sudden, I'm looking around and I'm not seeing everybody. 44, 43. Yeah. Okay, this is interesting. Because the 48's there, the 31's there, the 42's there. And there's HD. What in the world happened? Because we see Robertson, he's gone. And then the 2 machine, Jaden Browser. Where is Jaden? Where did Jaden go? We're going to find him. And Jaden's in the pits. Oh no. Could we have our first lag out? Oh, how? That's got to be frustrating. Yeah, that car is not moving, ladies and gentlemen. Jaden Browser, after running in that front pack, is officially out. And I do believe he's officially out of the 500 as well. Wow. Not what I was expecting to see. So now that makes this backpack race very interesting, because now rather than having a very clear-cut 3 who are going to make it in Robertson, Browser, and Stotts, it's now Robertson, Stotts, and, well, who knows what's next. But now we've got a caution on the track for the first time. So that'll bunch everybody back up. I didn't see what happened anywhere. But a very interesting turn right here. There's Irate Pluto, as everybody's continuing to get lined up. So now 34, not quite sure what he's doing. But everybody's getting bunched back up together. So 34's got to come back up on the track. Not quite sure what his situation is. But being under yellow, this is crucial. This is big, especially for these drivers, especially the 42 machine. Your 17s, your 23s, your 34s. I mean, this is, in my opinion, going to come down to whoever comes out of this. If they get a good restart, we could very well be looking at a brand new setup. But it looks like the 23, he's going to go ahead and take the lap around, and it looks like just about everybody that was a lap down is going to go ahead, take the wave around. So it looks like all the leaders are going to come in. So with that, we'll go ahead and take a quick 30-second break. Again, just remind you guys that on the other side, it's Daytona.
It's called the birthplace of speed. Back then, it was the hard-packed sand that allowed for records to be broken. Today, it's the high banks and long straightaways. Not to mention, it's the dream of every driver and fan, offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come. We're still talking about the first one, and guarantee we'll be talking about this one. Here's to the great American race that can only be the Daytona 500.
So we've officially come back from it, and I'm pretty sure the pit cycles are going to slowly be working their way through, but it does appear that HD has come out in the lead. Stotts comes out second, Smith third, Hack fourth, Dean fifth, Richard Denny sixth, Robertson seventh, and I do believe that is the 45 of Tyler Compton. And then there's the 44 of Zach Allen and the rest of the group, as now the 42 is dropping back. So Jackson Stott's having to give up his ground. Not quite sure how exactly this is all going to work out. It looks like guys are getting lined up as Stotts is now in the grass. Jackson, you might want to get going, bud. Okay, so now we got everybody lined up. So let's see if we can work our way up to the front. Okay, so it is going to be HD who takes the green. With Luke Smith on the outside, you got Hack and Allen on the row number 2. Row number 3 looks like it's made up of Richard Denny and the 14. The 14 didn't go, as we're back to green flag racing here at Daytona. Again, not quite sure what caused that first yellow of the entire duels to happen, but Smith's going to get left high and dry as that low line is coming together quickly. As now Zach Allen, looks like he got up into LRS just a little bit. Is now everybody trying to fight their way down to the bottom. And it looks like that's how it's going to work out. Okay. So let's see if we can kind of decipher who's ended up where. So it is going to be HD. That's Hunter Dowling. He's a rookie with the Cup this year. We saw him race a few times, but mainly in Xfinity last year. Out front with Chris Hackney in second, Richard Denny third, Luke Smith, the reigning champ, fourth. Conan fifth right now is Zach Allen. And Jerry Robertson finding his way up. He's up to sixth. As Tyler Compton has forced his way out. And he's got to come down at some point. So not quite sure if he's going to get the window that he is looking for. But again, looking at some of the cars that are just starting to slowly slide back there. I know I saw Jacob Border in the 34. We saw him earlier, but it looks like he might have slid back. It looks like he's got a lot of work to do. So we'll have to see how this all shakes down here in just a little bit. So the 10 machine of Silent Sniper 8819, aka Zach Evans. First time we've seen him running with the UTLR guys. So have to see if he can make something work here in that 10 machine as the 45 nudges his way under to 23. As you see there. Again, NMG clean. Jaden Browser, the lone out. Now 23 looks like he's going to be sliding back. But maybe he can use a little bit of momentum coming around the front stretch here. Saw a couple drivers think about dipping below that yellow line. You can't be doing that. Got to make sure that you stay above that yellow line. So we'll slowly work our way back up to the front, see if we can hop on with our Denny once again. And we should be, there we are, as they're coming around to, again, the 31-48 continue to hold down that front line. Richard Denny holding down third, Luke Smith trying to hang on to fourth, Zach Allen coming fifth, Robertson sixth, and then I do believe that might be David Phillips there in the 6 machine, right behind in the 17. And if that's the case, that could make a lot of interesting decisions come, especially with John Dean there in the 47 right behind them. Can Phillips find a way to get back up and stay in contention? Because that 42 of Jackson Stotts, he is going to try to find a way to get up there. As right now, it would be Stotts that would be the last transfer in that number 42 machine. Go with the 6 and the 17. Getting the 2 being the only car out right now. As we continue, log down these laps. How much chaos will we see here towards the end? Because we know that the laps are definitely counting down here for the guys. As now we see Phillips getting shot up high. Yep, there he goes up high. Will he have any friends? He will not. So it looks like he will have to try to jump in behind the 47 if he can even get there. But he does not. So the 42 finds his way back up. And let's see if we can hop on with him. So yeah, that 42 would be the next transfer in with the 17. As you see there. So how drastic does this make things? Who could be bent out of shape? Because right now, it does appear that David Phillips would be the transfer in. And we're going to go ahead and move over to him real quick. If we can get to him. There we go. Mr. Tyfill 47. We saw him comment just a little bit ago. So David Phillips finding his way in. Yeah, he was asking about the stop motion, and we're trying to make it work. But now he's going to give up the low ground, and that'll give way for Stephen Davis II. However, this could change very quickly as well, because now we've got 2 wide once again here, all the way from first back to almost 13th. Ben Robertson's going to find his way all the way out to the front. Can he hang on to it? He can. So that high line, once again, trying to make things work. They're going to need something. This hack's going to go high. Stotts is going to go low. And I keep forgetting I have to watch what's happening on this screen, not that screen. As now we got pinball. More pinball. It's the 12 once again involved. The 23 gets into the 48. There's the 12 there. Into the 43. More and more pinball effect happening. How they're able to keep it clean, I don't know. But now the 48 gets shot up into the 44s. Now we're 4 wide across the stripe. And now Luke Smith's going to get shot back. I don't know what in the world just happened. If that was for the win, what a way to end it. And I do believe it was. What a run. Because I do believe that is the 17 of Jerry Robertson who's going to come away with the dual victory. So it's the 17. The 9 is in second. The 23 is going to make it. That's Stephen Davis. But who is the third? Who was it? Was it Stotts? Was it Bonner? Ooh, we're going to have to see how that one shook out. I can tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of hot heads here on the other side as that brings the end to the duel. Nobody wants to run top. So, who ends up getting it? Let's see if we can see. So again, Do Prime, Outlaw, and I do believe that Go Dogs actually ended up making the show. The 14 of Cody Bonner, I think, made it. Jackson, I don't think made it. Yeah, just looking at the points, he would not have made it. Wow. A late caution brings everybody together, and everybody gets chaotic there at the very, very end. And it'll be Jerry Robertson who starts fourth alongside the number 3 machine of Dakota Humphrey as those two win the duels. And Cody Bonner and Stephen Davis, after riding around in the back, that late caution brought them all together one more time. And they are going to move in and move on. So Jaden Browser, unfortunately, we saw him drop earlier. Javid Phillips. Jackson Stotts really thought that he was going to have the car. He is not going to make the show. Jacob Border does not. Zach Evans does not. Tyler Compton does not as well. But with that in mind, that is actually going to do it for the duels here tonight. We will have the starting lineup out to everybody here as soon as we can. Here, you can check that on all of our socials, our Facebook, our YouTube, our Twitch. Again, UTLR Live, our UTLR Season 7, Under the Lights Racing, wherever you want to see it, wherever you can find it, we will be there. So we've got 1 week off from the duels. After that, next week, next Tuesday, it's the trucks at Daytona. Wednesday, the Daytona 250. Thursday, Xfinity takes to the high banks of Daytona. And officially, Season 7 will be underway then. But until then, appreciate everybody tuning in. So, my name's Ian McClintock, a.k.a. Why So Serious 8135. Appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody commenting, everybody dropping a like. And we will see you guys next Wednesday, 7:15 p.m. We should have all these glitches worked out. We'll have a full 25-car field, a full 100 laps at Daytona to figure out who is going to lock in their spot to the playoffs in race number 1, and who's going to go home, and who's going to start on top with all the points in their favor. Can LRS do it again in Luke Smith? Will it be a new driver? Could we see the 3 once again duplicate his run and make another run at the victory lane? But until then, please stay safe out there, everybody. Again, thoughts and prayers to everybody that was affected with what happened out in Georgia today. Please hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Spend a little extra time together this week. World's kind of a scary place. We're here to make things a little bit better. Hopefully we've been able to do that for you guys for the last 2.5 hours or so. But until next Wednesday, we will see you then for the Daytona 250. But until then, stay safe and good night.
It's called the birthplace of speed. Back then, it was the hard-packed sand that allowed for records to be broken. Today, it's the high banks and long straightaways. Not to mention, it's the dream of every driver and fan, offering a moment of glory that will extend well beyond 500 miles for years to come. We're still talking about the first one, and guarantee we'll be